What's happening, everyone? Today, Anakin is with us,
Hello.
and the Force is with him.
It is.
So I have to ask because so your parents must be Star Wars fans.
Yes, Revenge of the Sith came out right before I was conceived.
Oh, okay, because I was going to ask, are you Dutch? You know, maybe not, but
No, I'm also a Christmas baby.
oh, really?
Yeah, so double down on the specialness.
Whoa!
So Anakin and Christmas baby.
It was foretold.
It was foretold. The prophecy is true.
So, I mean, do you have any brothers or sisters?
I have one older brother,
And what's his name?
Tristan.
Oh, that's bullshit.
Yeah, so he's just some guy, and then I'm here.
Man, you got the name. So how has it been? Like, that's wild. I couldn't believe it.
It's nice. I feel a little special because I have a name that you don't hear anymore.
Yeah.
Or at all. And it's getting to a point where people don't even recognize the name, which that kind of sucks. But it's nice because every time I tell someone my name and they recognize it, they go, "Oh my God, that's so cool." Instead of if I had like some random name and someone just goes, "Okay, this is, so and so." Instead it's like, "That's Anakin."
Yeah.
And I work at GameStop, so that's like a +1 because when I got hired, my manager just kind of went, "His name's Anakin. Can we hire him?" And they went, "Okay."
Yeah, why wouldn't you?
So
I mean, imagine if it was just like Robert Skywalker.
Yeah.
That was in Star Wars. Like Robert Skywalker will save us all. It's like, that's not, that's
are you
bullshit.
named after Robert? Is like, I don't know. Like, because you got that with Luke. So people are going to make like the Luke Skywalker
Sure.
jokes, but it's like, it's a 50-50 at that point if it's actually just named after it. But me, it's solid proof.
Yeah, because you also have like Luke Combs. You have like probably other Lukes. Luke, the guy from 90210, whatever his name
Yeah.
is. But then you don't have like Anakin Johnson.
No, you don't.
Like the plumber or anything.
There's no just random people out there. It's like, if you meet someone named Anakin, that's a somebody.
Yeah.
And that's not someone you just forget about.
Yeah, it's not like Anakin was a family name.
Yeah. It's not something like, there's no Anakin 2, Anakin 3, Anakin Jr., and so forth.
Well, because it could go two different ways. Like imagine if you weren't cool about it.
Yeah.
And people were just like, "Oh, Anakin," you're like, "Fuck, I'm just gonna go by my middle name now."
Well, that's what I get a lot is people go, "Have you seen Star Wars?" And it's a question I hate. Like the second question I hate the most about my name. It's, "Have you seen Star Wars?" And I'm like, do you like? I'm named after this popular franchise. This is kind of like what my personality revolves around a bit. And you think I haven't watched Star Wars? The other day, I made a Star Wars joke to one of my coworkers, and one of my other coworkers goes, "Well, that's kind of funny because you haven't seen him." And I look at him and I go, "What makes you think I haven't seen Star Wars? Like at least just the prequels, like maybe the originals, but like I've seen all the movies. I haven't seen any of the TV shows, but all movies I've watched, rewatched, yada yada." And he only thought that because my coworker was messing with him and saying that I hadn't watched any of the movies. But it's just kind of like, I feel like that should be obvious. But the question I hate the absolute most was, were your parents Star Wars fans? Because it doesn't need an answer. It's like, no, they saw the movie and they go, "I really hate this kid.
Yeah.
Name him after that guy. He just turned evil. That's what he's gonna do. We'll do that. We'll just doom him because let fate play it out." And I'm just kind of like, no, duh, they were Star Wars fans.
Yeah. You should just start saying Star Wars. What's that? You mean like the defense program in the 80s?
Oh,
No.
Captain Kirk, yeah. But when I have to introduce myself, like if I say my name at a restaurant where I'm meeting someone for the first time, I go, "It's Anakin," like from Star Wars. But if it's at a restaurant, I have to spell out my name. No one knows how to spell Anakin.
No way.
I swear, no one knows how to spell it. We could go tour Raising Cane's around the state, and I guarantee that there is going to be a higher chance of places that misspell my name on a receipt than people who will spell it right.
No shit.
It's so crazy. And like I've seen like the most outlandish, like I've had Anikan, and I'm like, that's not even it. Anakin's phonetic. It's easy. It's Anakin. It sounds out how it says. And so it's like, maybe the speakers don't work. Maybe you just not hearing me right. But I always have to go, my name's Anakin, Anakin, like Star Wars. And sometimes it'll get through. If I'm
but it does increase the chances.
Yeah, I get a better roll on it if I say that. But sometimes I still get a weird one. I've had it spelled with an E before, which I don't really figure out how that works in there.
You're gonna get it spelled with a Y. You're gonna get spelled with 2 N's.
And it's just kind of like this seems easy enough, but some people just don't know what Star Wars is. It's outdated.
Imagine living in a world, like imagine if somebody like, I don't know, if George Lucas caught a cold and couldn't film that day, your name would have been like, I don't know, Steve or Rod or something, like it wouldn't be, it's so wild, that's crazy.
I have to meet the guy now because I have to I exist as a person today because of you. Because imagine if you just never thought of this.
Yeah.
Like imagine you just didn't have the balls to go to some company and go, this is a movie I want to make. And it just never happened. I wouldn't be here. And that's so crazy to me.
So what's your midichlorian count?
I haven't figured that out yet.
No?
We're still working out on that.
We haven't heard about midichlorians ever since that first episode. So
Yeah,
I think it's been kind of phased out.
Well, I think it continues in the shows because there's what's his name? The mentor to Darth Sidious. He was the one who messed with the midichlorians. So I think there's a show, and one of the shows revolves around him a bit, and they kind of explain.
Was that Plagueis? Darth Plagueis?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I think he's the one. Because he's the tragedy. So I think he's the one they focus on. It's one of the shows. I haven't seen them, so that's my only downfall. Is
oh, really?
The shows. Yeah.
The shows? Well, you know what? They are, especially if you want to start from the beginning, because you got to start from the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
That animation is hard to get used to.
It is, and in a sense, I can just kind of excuse it off. Well, I only watch George Lucas.
Yeah.
Because he created me, so it's I can only watch George Lucas. If anyone else making Star Wars spinoffs, it's not me.
Right.
Yeah.
What about the new ones?
The new one. Well, the sequels I did watch, so I guess that kind of counters that argument. But still, The Force Awakens was the only one that was good.
Oh, yeah.
The other two, The Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker.
Well, because everybody was so excited.
Yeah,
at that first one, at episode 7.
Amazing. It felt right. There was so much to go. You had Finn, you had Kylo, you had such potential in these characters. And then it was just kind of rinse and repeat of the originals.
Plus, you knew that Han Solo would be in it, Leia would be in it, and Luke may be in it, because there was rumors, because people saw Mark Hamill go to the studio, or they saw contracts or whatever, people talked, but they didn't know what his extent was at the time. But you had everybody in there, plus people that are new, and you're like, oh my God, a stormtrooper took off his helmet. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's we have a personalized stormtrooper.
Whoa.
But it was also it just ruined his character. If he hadn't been in it at all, it would have been a little bit better. But when you watch the final episode of it, him trying to kill Kylo Ren made no sense. Because he tried to spare Darth Vader. So it just kind of backwashes two characters. It gets rid of Luke's character and it gets rid of his Anakin character. Because it's just, these don't mean anything anymore.
And also putting different directors on each one in the same trilogy that's supposed to be a continuous story was a terrible mistake.
It was a horrible decision. And it would have worked, but Disney.
I mean, yeah, because they almost feel like, what do they know? They're just the fans.
Yeah.
We know better because we bought it.
And then you have Harrison Ford who hates Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I want to know how much they paid him for that.
He's like, just kill me. Kill me off, because he wanted to be killed off in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah.
That's what he didn't want to do anymore. And then it's like, dude, how dare you?
Well, because imagine you do some one-off job. This is just some random side gig you do, just a little extra cash, you're bored. And then people seem to think this becomes your life. That now you are Han Solo, and it's just oh, well, great.
But he also is Indiana Jones,
That's true. He does take pride in Indiana Jones.
And American Graffiti, that's his first one. That was still with George Lucas. That was a killer one.
Yeah.
That's a classic right there. But I mean, I don't know. There's definitely shittier characters to be known for. What about the guy that played Jar Jar Binks?
That's a great character to be known for. People love Jar Jar Binks.
He's been a little bit redeemed.
He has,
because at the very beginning it wasn't that great.
He was just some annoying guy, and then just oh, wow, Jar Jar Binks is so cool.
Yeah,
and people want to talk like him.
Because the Darth Binks, that whole theory of him being, because he did vote emergency powers to the Chancellor. I
mean, yeah.
And you've seen in episode 1 where it has the ET people, right? The Brodo Asagi. Mm-hmm. That's so weird.
Yeah.
And people, everybody thinks that his name was ET.
Yeah,
it was not.
Yeah, I mean,
it was Zrek.
George Lucas definitely didn't have it all fleshed out.
No.
But there's also people, because he was going into sci-fi, and this was at the point where people are like, well, this is Hollywood, like this has to make sense. And it's like, sci-fi today cannot make sense. Like, you can go about it because there's people who are interested in learning the actual story, and that's why kind of like Lord of the Rings, I feel like, goes under the radar a bit, is because it's its own story. You have to learn what Lord of the Rings is. You have to actually like be invested. It's not some TV you can, not some show you can just put on.
Right. Well, I mean, I don't know. Some of those scenes are nice to go to sleep to, like those like scenery scenes.
Well, yeah.
It's like, oh.
Well, it's definitely got that aspect, but in sense of like understanding it,
Yeah.
like because they wanted, I feel like outside influence wanted Star Wars to be something you could understand, something that would hit, and it did. It did eventually go that way, where it just like, well, this has to make sense to people at the first go. People can't have to look into the series and wonder what it's about. It just has to make sense from the get go. Because if it doesn't work. It doesn't go anywhere. So like Lord of the Rings, just it went somewhere, but it only went to places people liked. So if you didn't invest it, it didn't make sense to you.
Right. And then there was a lot of like, there was like a bootleg train right after Star Wars, where it's like Italy tried to make a Star Wars.
Yeah, everyone's trying to make all these spin-offs of Star Wars and jokes of Star Wars.
Whereas, like,
Family Guy's making episodes of Star Wars.
But I mean, like if you look at some of those old like those bootleg Star Wars, I mean, it's one of them. It was an Italian one. It was like about a nuclear disaster and something.
Yeah.
But like the guy that's like the Darth Vader supposed to be, it looks like just a dude in a gimp mask. You know, it's like you shouldn't be able to see. He's wearing a face like mask, but it's like, I don't know, corrugated.
It's from the wrong store.
Yeah, that's like Star Wars on Wish.
Yeah,
You know, so I wanted to ask you about, because you said you work at GameStop, and obviously that's where I saw you. But the Switch 2 just came out.
yes, it did.
So you guys had the launch deal, like your late night launch and everything. How'd that go over there?
It was busy. So where I work, we have a bit of a community. So we have people who know us. We have people that we know. We foster this community of people. So it wasn't crazy. You know, you might have seen some videos out online of people going crazy and it's just being a whole thing. It was really calm for us. It was a system and it worked. What we did is pre-orders happened end of April. Nintendo opened them up, so people got to like place their pre-orders. So those people got theirs guaranteed. So they were set. They had their stuff. And then the day of the launch happened, and from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. is when we began our pre-ring system, where essentially you pay for your console now, and then 9:01 p.m. begins when you can pick it up. So people it was just a full day of people just buying Nintendo Switch 2s, getting the receipt, and us just setting up the system. We moved the store, so like our back area was just all of our accessories, and we had someone in the back who had the serial numbers ready, so we were just kind of cycling out. Kind of felt like a fast food, like a rush hour on a fast food place. We're just kind of going like, okay, I need 37 on a bundle, and you know, my guy in the back goes grab me 37 on the bundle, confirms the numbers, and I say whoop, and it's out the door.
So what's the bundle?
The bundle was with Mario Kart.
So that's not the 450, right?
Yeah. So 500 was for the Mario Kart bundle. 450 was just the console itself.
Oh, so you get the $80 game for $50.
Yeah.
So you're essentially escaping their price increase.
Yes, but then there's the digital side front, and then there's that whole kerfuffle.
Oh, was it a digital one?
Yeah, so there's no physical one.
Oh, yeah.
I think we got a Canadian version too, because there was two. There was a box that had just a sticker on it that said Mario Kart, and there was one that had like the strip. The one that has a sticker comes with the code for the game. The one with the strip didn't come with the code of the game. It was just kind of pre-installed onto the console. So you had to go through like this maneuver to get it set up to your account. So it's a little weird, and I think that's because it was a Canadian version, and some countries don't allow digital codes for games.
Oh,
so I
really?
think that's what it was. Yeah.
Is that Canada doesn't allow that?
I think it might be. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that there are some that like they don't do digital codes like that. So I don't know.
I did not know that.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Wow. So like people are, you know, obviously having kind of like, for me at least, I say people, but it's really for me.
Yeah.
I haven't got one yet because I'm just like so worried about all of the whole like it's a license, it's not, you don't own this kind of thing, you know? And it's like I don't plan on modding it anyway. I don't really know. I mean, I modded my PlayStation 1, right? The PS1, little tiny one. Open it up, soldered a mod chip, you know, and I could play burned games back when that was a thing. You know,
I remember burned games.
Yeah, late 90s, you know, like you're on Kazaa downloading a game or whatever, and you're like, of course you're sacrificing your poor family's computer because you only have the one computer that you got from like the Gateway store or whatever.
Yeah.
And you're poisoning that one with whatever just so you can get, you know, I don't know, Star Wars Bounty Hunter.
Yeah.
You know, something that you wouldn't even really buy. It's just like, oh yeah, new Star Wars game. I'll get that one.
Yeah.
And, but now people are obviously modifying the console to where, you know, they can detect it because obviously it goes online and people see it and it's all, people take screenshots like, why does this guy have this? And it gets to be a big thing. But now they can brick your console for that.
The thing is, it's kind of been like this forever. Well, maybe not forever, but once the online era of video games really started, it's kind of been like this. That's why the DS is so modded, is because it's discontinued. There's nothing to do with it. So it's just kind of been like, it's more so the popularity of the notice. It's the fact that Nintendo's going, hey, you mod this console, you're done. We don't want you to do this. You are breaking the contract that you are agreeing to by purchasing this console. That's that rule book that you get, that little piece of paper that exists in every single console. Is simply saying like, here's what we do not want you to do. Because this is an attack on our integrity, the stuff that we've worked on. Yes, it's a little sucky because it's like, oh, well, do I really own my console if you're able to just brick it? But it's like, follow the rules. If you really want to mod it, go mod the Switch 1. Like, go do something that's inexpensive. You wouldn't want to mod something that's $500. Yeah. That's just losing money at that point. And the bricking thing has been here forever. Like the PS5, if your PSN accounts get banned, that PS5 is done for. Your IP is done for. You don't get it back.
The unit's done for? You can't resell it or anything?
Yeah. So when we do trade-ins at GameStop and we have a PS5, I have to manually check to see if that console's been banned. Because if I try to take it in, if someone gets it, they can't use it. They can't use any online features because that PS5 is banned. And your IP is listed. So if you do anything they don't like, which includes using a controller like their the SCUF controllers or whatever the modded controller is that lets you like have more inputs than you should be having, you're just banned. It's gone. So it's like this. Nintendo's not the first to do it. This isn't something new on their part. It's just the fact that you've been told this.
And I guess the thing that really made me concerned is like, so on Pokemon like Violet or the Sword or Shield, either one of those, you can trade with people, like trade surprise Pokemon, right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like you get this like shiny thing that shouldn't be here, and it's like level 100, and it's got the name like so-and-so.com.
Yeah.
You know, and that's obviously an advertisement for somebody that's modding the thing. And so there was talk about like people that receive that to get it bricked, you know, like that's. And that language that they use almost seems like they're saying that could happen, you know?
Yeah, I definitely feel like it's probably just a precautionary measure just to eliminate it happening at all. But I feel like if that happens, just reach out to Nintendo. Because they're definitely a company that'll listen to you. Like, if you go and complain, they'll be like, oh, this was a mistake on our part. Here's your account back. But that's also just a game issue contrary to a console issue. So I feel like that's just going to, like, knock you off the online for that game. And then, again, just appeal it and you should be fine. But I think... It's figuring out intentions, because if you receive it, are you in the wrong, or are you right or are you wrong? Because it's either you received it intentionally, knowing it was bricked, knowing it was modded and you shouldn't have it, or did you just accidentally get it thinking you were trading with some stranger online and you're just trying to evolve your Pokemon?
I mean,
so it's more like it
goes both ways, I would say.
Yeah, it's really hard to determine that, because anyone can just go, oh, well, I was just trying to trade my Pokemon. It's like, well, you exclusively traded with people with modded Pokemon. So are you really after it, or are you just trying to get your modded Pokemon? Also, those Pokemon get banned anyways in competitive play. Like, there's a specific structure to it, so it's just kind of like you don't get too much out of it. Anyways.
Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah, I guess the competitive play is, they wouldn't really. Would they be too concerned then if it's just not? Because I don't really do the competitive stuff. I just play with my daughter.
Yeah, like I don't think they would really go out of their way to do that much for it, because it's like, well, it's not coded to our system, so you can't use it anyways. So if you want to go, one-shotting your gym leaders to get your badges as soon as possible, go ahead. Like, I don't care. Because at that point, like, what are you harming? And that's what I believe is, like, if you're not doing anything online or messing with anybody else, whatever you do with your console doesn't matter. Like if you got a modded Pokemon and you just want to go one shot one level 1 Pokemon for no reason, sure, why not? Like, okay, it makes no difference to the way I live in life. Like I'm not gonna wake up and go, man, someone's out there doing something I don't like.
Yeah, it's also like the amount of games that's out right now. Obviously, it's just a couple.
Yeah, it's lacking.
It's of course it's backwards compatible, so all the games that you do have you can play through. But
yeah.
Like my favorite, so obviously Nintendo is kind of like the Disney as far as IPs are concerned, and they like guard that shit, with white knuckle that, But the one IP that is my favorite of Nintendo's that they've been lacking is Star Fox.
That's true.
Like they totally
the
shit on that.
Yeah, Star Fox just got left in the dust. And you'd think with Smash Bros. Representation, with you got Fox, you got Falco, you got Wolf, you would think that they would be a little bit more on it. This is also going for Earthbound.
Yeah,
this is such a popularized series. People love the series. They don't stop asking about it, and it's just kind of left in the dust. And now I get that there are reasons. I played the games. Mother 3, which has yet to be localized, has a lot of copyright and a lot of culture things going on in it that just wouldn't fit in today's economy. So there's a lot of changes to be made. And so I guess there's the battle of like, if we change it, people are going to be upset that it's changed. But if we don't change it, people are going to be upset that it isn't changed. So who do you cater to the most? Because it's available in Japan. If you're a region state of Japan and you live in Japan, you can play Mother 3 on its emulator thing that it has for Nintendo Switch Online. It's just in other countries that you cannot.
So Mother 3, because Earthbound, that's the Super Nintendo one. That's number 2, right? Because the first one was non-regular Nintendo.
Yeah, that was. I think that was. I wonder what console. I think that was just the NES. So like it was NES and then SNES and then Game Boy Advance, I believe.
Oh, so 3 was on Game Boy Advance?
Yes.
I mean, you could always port it to, to like Virtual Console, but you would just have to. I mean, what kind of stuff is different? Is it like,
one of the enemies' themes is literally just Batman's song.
Oh, so it's like
genuine copyright. Like there's just genuine like other songs that exist in this game. So like you go and fight the Bat, and it literally plays the Batman song. Oh, like the original theme song from the old '90s show. So it plays that song. So it's like that's something that has to be changed. Is how do you go about that?
And DC's like, nah.
Yeah, like DC's not going to allow that. And if you change it, it's going to lose that bit of heart. Because this was a game made in 2005. No, 2006. I'm older than this game. So this was a game that was made back then. So copyright laws don't exist in Japan. So they can keep it over there. They can do whatever they want with it. But that's where it comes here, and that's where the issue is. So you have that, and then you just have it. There's just some things that feel wrong. It has a big focus on like the side enemy to it is kind of like a reprise of like Nazi Germany. So like there's the Nazi salute in the game.
Man.
So it's like, how do you go about that? Because yeah, you can keep that in because these people are very obviously bad, but it's like you have an economy right now where that stuff is just better left buried.
It's I mean, gosh, guys, you could have just take it easy on the third one.
Yeah.
But they're like, no, what we're gonna do is we're gonna steal a couple of their superhero songs. We're gonna put Nazis in this one.
Yeah.
Okay. How can we get some racism in?
Well, there's this really uncomfortable scene. It's only like interpreted as uncomfortable, but it's only weird when you look at it from a certain angle. But the main character, he gets his awakening in a hot tub. But there's a species of people called Magypsies that are supposed to be like a fairy kind of like being, and so the Magypsy teaches the main character Lucas like his awakening powers and like how to kind of do it. But it's in a hot tub. So it just looks really bad. And it's just kind of this really weird, uncomfortable circumstance if you look at it that way. But if you just kind of go, okay, this is just him awakening his powers. This is somebody, he's connected to these fairy people. He has someone in his party who is derived from them. So it's like, this isn't weird if you don't look at it with weird context.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a Diddy party.
Yeah, like there's it's not implication that anything happens to him. It's not implicated that he's like touched or anything goes weird. It's just the hot springs you heal in the hot springs. So it's already pre-established as a story thing. So it's just expanding on that.
Well, that's a common thing. It's, the same thing in like, what Harvest Moon, but, God, there's gotta be a way, right? Like they can recolor their uniforms to be like pink or something, and then they wouldn't complain.
Well, it's like, not the outfits. They're in like these like pig costumes. So it's not the outfits, it's just the gestures, because they do the Nazi salute during the game.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's like that. It's also like the marching and like the theme of it. So it's like it's very obvious, but it's also like we used to allow this. Like we used to have you were able to use Nazis as this metaphor for something bad because that's what they were.
Yeah, we played Wolfenstein.
Yeah, like Wolfenstein is like
or Stein.
Yeah. Nazis are bad. Killing Nazis is what we have. So I don't know why them being the bad guys would really come off weird, but there's going to be people who are going to be like, well, I don't like this.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I'm uncomfortable with this. And it's like, this is a story. This is how it plays out. This is its rendition. So I don't know.
Well, those are the people that changed the shotguns in E.T. to walkie-talkies.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
So like there's always going to be, uncomfortability with things. Like nothing's ever going to be perfect. It's just figuring out how do you please both sides.
Yeah.
Because you have the diehard fans who are going to be like, well, I want my game pure. But there's also the diehard fans who are going to be like, if that change needs to happen for this game to come to the US, so be it. So.
Yeah, I actually just recently beat Earthbound because I played it a bunch of times.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because we all started and then you do something else.
Yeah.
And you don't go back and finish it. But I finished it all the way through for the first time like a couple months ago. And it's a wild game.
It is like it. And it pains me that it flopped because they didn't know what they were doing with the marketing. The marketing was like centered around like boy humor and like farts and vomit and stuff like that. And I was like, that's not what Earthbound is.
Right.
Earthbound is a story. Like there's depth to it. There's stuff going on. Like if you play Earthbound Beginnings, it really hits the series hard. And it's like, you failed the marketing.
Well, it's almost like you're in an RPG with your friends. Mm-hmm. And you're walking around with like people that you went to school with, and like this guy is like really good at magic powers, and this guy, I don't know, uses a skateboard as a sword or something.
Yeah.
It's like it's all that kind of stuff, and it's intertwined. Like it's so appealing to kids that it's a shame that it did flop.
Yeah, it's like it has so much cultural relevance to pop culture in the early days. It's like what I've noticed. Have you listened to "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd? Mm-hmm. There's like the sound design to that album sounds so much like Earthbound. Like if you play any of Shine On You Crazy Diamond, especially part 4 and 6, it's like, wow, this genuinely feels like it was this inspired Earthbound and Mother 3. Like the themes sound there. And so there's reference, like it's cultured. It has something to ground on. And it's like, this would have been a hit. Because people know Earthbound, they just don't know what it really was. They don't know it had a story and it had something to like be proud of, and it had an ending that made you go, wow, that was a video game. Yeah,
and it's just like a Starman on the front. That doesn't do anything for me to tell me what it is.
Yeah.
I beat the game, still not clear on the Starman.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's the Warriors from the future.
Yeah. But why is that such a big deal?
Yeah.
Like, why isn't... was it Pokey? Was that the bad guy? Mm-hmm. Why isn't he on the front? Then you ask, like, why is this fat pig guy on the front? This pig kid.
Well, like, I just like the simplistic red background where it just says Earthbound or Mother. Like, that worked. It didn't need to explain itself. It just said, this is a video game. Yeah. And you play it and you go, wow.
And the douchey rich kid is the bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, that alone is the sale.
Yeah. It's like, it was perfect.
Yeah.
There was so much worth it, and it just didn't do it.
Well, there's, that's all the obvious. Nintendo could have had a Final Fantasy franchise even after Final Fantasy left Nintendo.
Yeah.
With Earthbound.
Yeah.
But I don't know, like, it's actually the same kind of thing with Star Fox, There's really not a whole lot of that kind of game that stands out as like a prominent IP.
Yeah.
You might say like, there's that PlayStation one, Air Combat. Ace Combat. Ace
Combat, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ace Combat 7, right?
Yeah.
Like that kind of franchise, that I'll replay that game over and over again. Mm-hmm. Or like when I play Battlefront 2, I'll just go into the fighter ones. the fighter levels, that kind of like that whole genre is like pretty much gone to shit.
Yeah.
And Star Fox being gone is like, that's my favorite genre of games, you know, and it's like there's nothing there. I have to wait for Ace Combat 8.
It's just profits at this point, and it feels like we've lost such a merit of the video game like life. Just to, well, how is this profitable? How does this look when it comes to, you know, shareholders? And can I microtransaction this? It's just it feels so lack of life for the sake of money, and it's like, you know, games being $100 is out of this world. Like maybe if it's like a premium edition, like the new Doom that just came out. Huge fan of Doom, so I shelled out the $100. I did it because I was like, whatever, I get to play it 2 days early.
That's the kind of thing. But you plan on that. You're like, okay, this is the one.
Yeah,
I did it with like Final Fantasy 16. I think, you know, like, but you're like, this is the one, and then you don't do that for every game, and that's a special one. It comes with like a hard case, comes with cards or something in there, you know.
Yeah, like this stuff. Doom didn't have that, unfortunately. It was just the game. It was just a couple days early. You got like the DLC and the whole yada yada. And so I was like, okay, I'm happy with this. It's $100, but whatever. I like this franchise. I'm down for it, and I love it. Doom Dark Ages has been so much fun. I'm almost done with the game, and I recommend it to everybody who comes to my store. They go, "What's the next best shooter?" I say Doom, and you know, there's people who like it and there's people who don't. But it's amazing. It was good, but just the prices. Like $70 for games just doesn't feel right. Like when you have a sports game that comes out every single year and it just goes higher and higher for less and less.
Yeah. I have friends that work in the game industry, and they're pretty deep on like both the console side and like the mobile side.
Yeah.
And it's just like there's so much of an expectation now.
Yeah.
You know, with games, and it's like it's got to be so much better. Like with EA doing all the has to be completely recognizable in the face.
Yeah.
And go deep in that. And like the story mode, they just want to play football. They want to play their favorite team, or like trade a lot of players and get their favorite team together and go play other people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what people want to do. But then you get to like, oh, well, we paid Jamie Foxx to be in this one.
Yeah.
You know, or like we paid, what's that guy who got in trouble for all during the Me Too thing? He was on the House of Cards show.
For what sport? Football?
No, he was a movie star.
Oh.
He was on House of Cards.
Not Henry Cavill, right?
No, he's not in trouble. He's America's sweetheart.
That too. But he got involved in some of that stuff. He apparently said, from what I heard, he had said some weird stuff about the Me Too movement.
Oh, well, no, this guy actually got, man.
Kevin Spacey?
Kevin Spacey.
Yeah, okay, that name rings a bell.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the guy. Well, you know, like they pay those kind of guys to be in video games.
Yeah.
Then it's like basically a movie contract for them. And then you have this studio that's all they're doing is making this game, right? When all the classics that we were used to were made by a couple of dorks in the basement.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that, and that it's what it's gained in like features and graphics and technicality. It's lost in the heart.
Yeah.
You know?
Because it used to be a nerd subject. It was like, oh, you play video games? Nerd. Like you sit in your mom's basement. You're a nerd. And it's like, well, real kids play sports. And now it's like, oh, you play actual sports? Now you're a nerd. You know,
real kids play sports on video games.
Yeah, it's like, oh, if you want to be a real kid, you go play NFL 2K. You go play 2K25 on your PS5 at home. If you don't actually go to a court. And it's just kind of like, it's been a switch. And it was better the way it used to be. It was better when playing video games was just a nerd thing. And, you know, playing actual sports. And if you can balance both of those, it's amazing. So it's a lot. It's definitely a loss of heart for a gain of popularity.
Well, you get those, and I hope this sticks around because this is like a really nice feature of the Switch, where they made it so easy to make games for it that people were making like a game you could get for $1.
Yeah,
you know, like
a lot of indie games.
Like the game, I'll recommend it. It's called That's a Cow. You're just a cow, and you propel yourself along this level like shooting milk out of your udders. You know, and it's like that kind of. It's one of those games.
Yeah,
you know.
Squirrel with a Gun is a game I bought for my PS5.
Oh, yeah,
that game is so much fun because it's stupid.
Goat Simulator.
Yeah, like it's just like you just have fun. Like it's stupid and it's amazing and it's like some little kid would love this and I'm having so much fun with this because I don't have like story games are amazing. It's genuinely a medium and it's an art of its own. But video games are also supposed to be random. It's just supposed to be something you pick up and play. Like, it's not something you just sit there and like a movie, you know, dedicate this much time of your life just to kind of understand it, especially when there's nothing more to go about it.
Yeah, like the blockbuster games, like I got Horizon Zero Dawn, and I couldn't get into it.
Yeah,
I couldn't, so I had to give it back. I sold it back. It was like I had this for like a week, and I just don't like it.
Yeah,
you know, it's like it's lame.
Yeah,
you know, and I mean, people out there will like it, but with that kind of game, you need like the kind of focus and time of like if you're going to get a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah.
You know, and I was coming into the franchise there, and I hadn't gotten, I didn't even know the story. Yeah. You know, I didn't know I was getting into. I was like, ooh, that looks cool. I'll get that.
Yeah. It's like if you want a real story game, you have to be able to like sell it like Cyberpunk. Have you played Cyberpunk?
No, but in that same regard, like, well, Cyberpunk, it wasn't what they said it was going to be when it came out, right?
What happened with Cyberpunk was it was a game that was announced way long ago. Like it was like GTA 5 days that CD Projekt Red was like, hey, we're working on this like futuristic cybernetic game. We're like, oh, this is cool, and it just kind of came along. It was a project you could watch. And then time got on, people got more impatient because like, it just kept delaying. It was like, okay, a year more. And people were like, well, just release it. And they were just like sending death threats to developers, just like, release this game. And so they were like, fine, take it. And it wasn't finished. And people were buying it on their PlayStation 4s. And this was not a PlayStation 4 game. I bought it for PlayStation 4, but I had my PS5 at the time. And I didn't have that much issues, but it was just lagging. There was a lot of misfeatures. It was buggy. And it's kind of like, what did you expect? Like when you go grill a steak, you don't just go, I'll just take it off like 40 minutes early. It shouldn't be too bad. And then, you know, you eat it and it's like, why is it raw? It's like, 'cause it's not done. It needs to finish. And then, you know, they continue to work on it and the 2.2 update came out and it delivered what it intended to. And then people were like, oh my God, this is the best game ever. It was like, yeah, all you had to do was wait another year or two. And we just would have had a best game from the start. So it just lived with this like time period of just people were like, Cyberpunk blows. This is a sucky game. And it's now, Cyberpunk's amazing. And the DLC came out. People were like, oh my God, like CD Projekt Red knows how to make video games. It's like, you didn't trust this. And now you want to say, you know, you knew all along.
Well, it just goes to show you that death threats work. But it kind of reminds me of, you remember, even before that, there was this game called No Man's Sky.
Oh, yeah, we started on No Man's Sky. That was another victim because it didn't get its time to prove itself.
Well, and it was maybe it was definitely an oversell for a little while because I remember there was a story that people went to the same planet and there's like millions of planets, right? They went to the same planet and they couldn't see each other. And that was something that was marketed in the game. Like it's a multiplayer game. You just can't, there's so many planets and there's so many people that you still can't see. Yeah. You know, but it turns out that that's not the way. And they fixed it over time. If you log into it now, it's definitely a different game.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they fixed that aspect of it.
Yeah, it didn't get its time to prove itself. So it kind of just fell flat. I'm also pretty sure it wasn't one of those games that kind of went like, oh, Bethesda can do it better. Because didn't it rival, what was it? It was Outer Worlds, I think, rivaled it.
Well, Outer Worlds was the one where they had like. Did you play that game?
I haven't. So because I know it only came out on the PS4 and then was like Xbox exclusive. There is a second game coming out that's also coming to PS5 now.
I'm pretty sure I got that on the Switch.
Really?
Yeah, because it was given to me, and because so I have a weird rule about the Switch.
Okay.
That I can only buy games that have a character from Smash Brothers in them.
That's a good way to go.
It's a weird. You'd be surprised at how many games that is.
Well, yeah, I guess there's just a million characters.
You know, but that means like no Star Wars games, no like Outer Worlds. That one I had to play it because I checked it out and it was like pretty cool and like my mom's friend gave it to me. But Like they harvest these pigs, but they don't eat the pigs. They infect the pigs with some kind of like thing that makes them grow cysts, and they harvest the cysts off the pigs. It's called a cystipig. It's a very weird game, but it's like if they commercialize space.
Yeah.
Basically, but it's not like a regenerative one like No Man's Sky is.
Yeah.
And No Man's Sky doesn't really have so much of a story.
Yeah.
You know, this one had a really big. It was like one of those ones where you could choose to answer this or that, and it would affect.
So you choose your own story.
Yeah, but No Man's Sky is like you land somewhere and everything kind of seems like uniform.
Yeah.
You know, and I think they got in a lot of trouble for that. They got in a lot of trouble for obviously not seeing, you know, and the like the animals and stuff. They were kind of like, I don't know, homogenized.
Yeah.
You know, and now they've changed it around. I logged in maybe like a year ago and it was different. And now they've changed even more. They keep adding to it, which, I mean, the big studios don't do after it's been out this long. Yeah. You know? And then also another game that's been having a comeback is Battlefront 2.
On
PS4.
The big push for Battlefront 3 right now. So everyone's like, oh, we'll release Battlefront 3. And so people are like playing the second one to show them like, hey, here's the attention.
Yeah, well, it's probably because they re-released episode 3 not that long ago. And it is a decent game now. Like when that came out, it was a total money grab.
Yeah.
You know, because EA got greedy and they're like,
microtransactions.
The microtransactions, and we want you to play for 40 hours straight just to get Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Just to get him. Mm-hmm. Not even to power him up, but like to get him. And there's all these other characters.
Yeah.
That's insane. That's a little much.
Yeah, microtransactions just doesn't make sense. It's like if you have like a live service game, like your Fortnite, that's fine. Like that makes sense. Like I love the collabs that has, and like I'll go in there, and if it's a collab I like, I'll get it because it's like, wow, I get to go shoot guns as Anakin Skywalker. Like that's cool to me. But that's all I play it for. Like I'll get my collab, I'll play for a bit, and I'm done. Like they just had a Star Wars season, I think, and it's like the most I've played it in the last like 3 years.
Oh really?
Yeah, because it was all Star Wars guns. It was Star Wars themed. You know, there was bosses that were like Darth Vader, General Grievous. There's like actual Star Wars stuff. I was like, wow, this is so much fun. It's not the same thing over and over again.
Yeah, it's perfect now.
Yeah. And unfortunately, it ended, so now I don't get to sit there and shoot my laser rifles and everything. But I had fun, and if they do it again, I'll be back.
Yeah,
yeah. So it's just as long as they keep releasing things that like I like, I'll go play it, and then I'll have fun. I'll get off.
I feel like EA's perspective on this is like, oh well, everybody's playing Battlefront 2. We don't need to make a third one.
Yeah, it's like, oh wow, people really like this game. Release some more packages, you know?
Yeah,
like
fuck them.
Yeah, like $40 for some skins. I think they'll like that.
Yeah, put out release Dengar. Or some like is he in there? I don't know. Maybe but like or like Dash Rendar.
It's like make a Outlaw Grievous skin, $30.
Yeah, like the skins. Of course I had to get the 501st skin for everything. Yeah. That's given. But all the skins, that's what you should charge for.
Yeah.
You shouldn't charge for characters per se.
It should literally be optional. It should not be anything that affects gameplay.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if it's a skin, it's like, if you like the skin enough, then you'll spend the money for it. And if you don't want the skin, you don't spend the money for it. But if it's like, wow, I really like this character, I wish I could play him, it's like, oh, we have to spend money for him. It's like, why do I have to spend money for something that, is in, like, it's a core, it's its own thing. It's not, nothing changes if you buy a skin.
It's
but if you buy a character, yeah. Yeah, and like, especially for a game like Battlefront, if you pay money for a character and that character is really good, then, well, you just pay $20 to win a game.
Well, and it used to be you had to buy those loot crates.
Yeah.
Remember, that was a big thing, was like the loot crates. And it's like, you're paying money for basically something that you don't know what's in it, and you're going to keep going. Like that ended up being some kind of a gambling thing.
Yeah, and then that's why they got rid of them. Was just like they got in trouble for the gambling because mostly underage people play video games.
And that's probably the right thing to do.
Yeah,
that was. I really don't approve of the government getting like involved in everything, but that was okay.
Yeah, I was like, that was the thing you really had to like cut off.
This is one of the good ones. Okay, good job, guys. This is one of the rare wins.
Yeah.
But I think that now that that's not an option anymore, that now they're just raising the price on these.
Yeah.
And if you look back, the games going back, they were more expensive. That's why we didn't have that many of them.
I find it funny is everyone's like, oh, well, like, you know, the Nintendo Switch 2 is so expensive. I'm like, yeah, considering Nintendo has been decently cheap, but like the 360 was $400 when it came out. We're not like that was $400, and a new Xbox before the price jump was $500. A PS5 is $500 for a digital console. It's like we've seen a $100 increase. You know, that's base models, by the way. That's not like any of the bundles, because I know 360 had like a bunch of bundles and it was going up in price. It's like we only gone up at $100. The Nintendo Switch 2 is nothing crazy. It's about what you would pay for just any other console.
Right.
So it's like, yes, Nintendo used to be a cheaper way to have a console, and it was lower in graphics, but the Switch 2 is heavy. It is a solid console, and it has weight to it.
I've also read that it's more of a, it's not quite a whole reiteration. It's more of a, a revamp.
That's the other point I get, is where people are like, well, it's nothing new. And I'm like, yeah, it isn't. Nintendo's known for innovation, and the Switch 2 just feels like the Wii U again.
Yeah.
It's like the whole point of Nintendo is like, no one else is doing this first. They're literally just creating things on the market. Like the Switch, innovative. That's why it did so well. It was so much hyped around.
Same as the Wii.
Yeah, it was like, wow, this is crazy. Like, who else is doing this? You know, the PS Portal, you can't go play, you know, your games on an airplane. You have to be connected to the internet. The Switch fixed that.
Yeah.
Well, that makes it sound like the Switch came out later, but it's still, the Nintendo was innovative, and the Switch 2 just felt like it lacked a lot of it. It just felt like, well, what if it was blue instead of red? It's like, okay, but what does it do different? The Joy-Cons come off instead of up.
Like a grandma's boy, like, we rendered them a different color.
Yeah, it's like nothing changed. Like the system isn't different, the menus aren't different, there's no themes, like the hardware is different, you know, the mechanics are different, but it's a change of clothes. The Switch one went in its closet, put on a new outfit it hasn't seen before, and then just came out to the world. It's like, okay.
Some of the games, like, well, when I see the Mario Kart World stuff,
Yeah.
it does look pretty good.
It is amazing.
You know?
It's an awesome game. Like, I'm having so much fun with it. It feels so different. Like, I love the free roam. It's like, it's cool. There's new mechanics. And it's like, this is a Mario Kart game. But it's the games, especially with a lack of launch titles, just not living up to the console. It's like, the console isn't anything new. There's not a lot of launch title. This is like, I tell people, if you have an OLED, chill on upgrading. Wait a little bit. I had the original version 1 since 2016, so I upgraded because I was like, I'm due for this. But if you have an OLED, you already have a noticeable difference. You're not missing out on much. So like, wait a year or two until it gets an OLED and there's more games, because the Switch one had a solid lineup when it came out. You had Odyssey, you had Breath of the Wild, you had not Tears of the Kingdom, you had Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So like, it was solid. There was stuff to do.
Well, you still had Breath of the Wild though.
Yeah,
Like, you know, like.
Yeah.
You could still consider that a launch title, and that's killer to have a Zelda game as a launch title.
Breath of the Wild, Mario Odyssey, like those were good. And it's like there's a good couple games that should have been launched titles. Like Donkey Kong Bonanza should have been a launch title because it was a Mario Odyssey kind of game. And it was like, if that released, it would have done just a little bit better. Because I'm excited for Donkey Kong. I have it pre-ordered at GameStop. I know a bunch of people who are like, stoked for it, but it's like, it comes out in July.
Well, especially for a company that's known for its sole IPs.
Yeah.
All of their characters and all of their stories, they're known for that.
Yeah.
Right? And Xbox or PlayStation could literally release a new console and people wouldn't ask about that. They wouldn't think about the launch titles necessarily, you know? But for Nintendo games, that's what we think of.
Yeah, it's like you have to have something to go and like coincide with it. If not, it's just a console. And it's like, well, what do I play? My Switch 1 games? I've been playing that for the last 5 years. It's like from the Wii U to the jump to Switch, is like you had games to play. Like Mario Odyssey wasn't seen before. 3D, you know, open world-ish Mario game was like new. It was different, and Switch 2 just doesn't have that. And a paid welcome tour is a little outside of
that little $10 thing.
It's like, yeah, it's like, it's not expensive, but it's like, I shouldn't have to pay to like learn the features of my console. PS5 did it for free with Astro's Playroom,
which is a killer game.
Yes, like it was fun, and it spawned a franchise. You have Astrobot is like, people love that game.
My daughter still plays that game.
Like, it won Game of the Year.
She loves that game.
Yeah, it's like this spawned from an indie company, and they Sony was like, "Do you want to make our console test?" And they were like, "Sure." And then it spawned Game of the Year.
It's like, I'll be your Mario.
It's like, yeah, make a test for it. Let it be free. Let it be based off on your IPs, and you've got a system set up for you. And it's just a lot. It's also the repeating issues, like the drift.
That's still there?
The drift is still there. It has been reported to come back. And then it's just the magnetic scare of people feeling like, oh, what if, like, you know, you put pressure on it and boom, it snaps. And so it's just this fear that's going on, especially with like the stapling. And
oh yeah, we got to get into that.
With the bricking stuff too, especially at my work, we sell warranties. What we do is we replace them. So you come in, you get a replacement for, you know, you don't spend any extra money, just buy the warranty. And it was only, I think it was like $70 for the 2 years or $50 for 1 year. It's like, that's cheaper. The 2 year is cheaper by a margin than a new set of Joy-Cons is before tax. A new set of Joy-Cons, $95.
For the Switch 2?
Yes. So you could literally just get that 2 year that 2 year warranty, and you would save yourself $20+. And I've been doing sales like since I was 12. Like I said, I've been going to San Diego Comic-Con. I started sales there. I was selling comics on the floor for my uncle. So I'm in there, and people think I'm trying to make a sale out of them. And I'm like, no, this is genuinely for you. I'm sitting here telling you to get this warranty, not because I want to go and brag that I got these numbers, but because something's going to happen to your console. And if you want to go to a repair shop, they're going to give you two answers. They're either going to go, yeah, I'm going to charge you an expensive ass amount because I don't want to deal with the Switch 2, or they're just going to tell you, no, I'm not going to get your console back because then you're going to get mad at me. You're going to try to sue me. Not happening. And then you can go to Nintendo and they'll hold your console for like 9 months because then they're busy dealing with everybody else's console, and then they'll go, oh, looks like your warranty's gone. And it's just like, do you want your console back? It doesn't work, but you can have it back.
Cold-blooded.
Like, just get the warranty. And people were just like refusing. And I'm like, you will come back to my store one day and you will tell me that your Switch 2 is, broken, something's wrong with it. And I'll look you in the eyes and I'll go, did you get a warranty? And you say no, I go,
well, I get him. I always get that when I get like a console or like even controllers.
Yes.
But not the games.
Because
I've never really had a problem enough to where like I'll go and like all of a sudden it doesn't work. Because most of the time it's a CD.
Yeah.
It's like something that you get. It's like my kids don't touch them. They stay in the little things and but the Switch games, the little cartridges, but anything like mechanical, like definitely the controllers, especially for PS5.
Oh, the plastic.
Because I've never had one break, but I've had it to where it just doesn't want to connect anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just done. Like it's just yellow button or yellow light. It's like I'm plugging it in. It's plugged in. Like, come on, what do you need from me?
And I don't want to go get it fixed. I love the replacement plan. Like it's amazing. Like I love just going to GameStop, like, sure, new one, right at the bat. And I walk home and I have a controller. I didn't sit there for 4 months going, well, I hope my package gets back to me soon enough. And the games I get, there are issues. What we usually do is just like, this is a peace of mind. Especially when you buy games that come in and out of consoles, like Minecraft. Minecraft is a big game that I tell everybody to get a warranty for because it's going in and out of your console. And CDs are physically tough, not digitally tough. So that burn scratch, gone. And so if it's in and out, all it takes is your PS5 just whoopsie and then boom, your case is gone. And you get a replacement. Simple as that.
Is Minecraft more expensive?
No, it's only $30. So I'm like, at that point, get the warranty. Just save yourself the time. Save yourself the trouble. And expensive games I also recommend it. Like the 3D All-Stars with the Galaxy, the Nintendo 64 Mario, and Sunshine. That one's $120 that we sell it for.
Wait, the All-Star one?
Yeah, because it's not made anymore. It's not printed anymore. You can't get it digitally at all.
Yeah, you know what? I got that one. I got the graphic on it is like printed like to the side.
Oh, weird.
Yeah, it's real. I'll show you after this, but it's really, really weird. It's like, it looks like a bootleg game. I got it from, I think it was either like probably GameStop or probably like Target or something like that. But
yeah, expensive games. I sold one to someone. I'm like, get this warranty. Like, do not sit yourself out of $130 because it's like $5 for a year. And it's like you either spend $5 or you spend another $130. And so it's like, because if something happens to that, whatever it may be, you have a replacement there for you. And I don't want to sit it sucks having people just be SOL on stuff that they have in tech. And it's like, well, because then I feel bad. I'm like, well, I can offer you like $3 for it. And so it's like the trade-in value is not high. So get that warranty. Save yourself the money. Save yourself the trouble.
So you must have got that traded in, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was pre-owned, yeah.
Man. Yeah. I haven't seen a lot of those at GameStop, like the higher, like pre-owned something that somebody brought in. That
They go fast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's probably the employees see it and they're like, okay,
yeah.
I'll buy that. Not putting that on the shelf.
Some of us do. I don't know how much of us are game collectors. I know one of my friends, who I'm one of my coworkers as well. He buys like all the versions of a game. So like Elden Ring. He recently upgraded to Series X, and now he has to have the physical copy of Elden Ring and Night Rain, and it's just like you already own the games digitally. You've already played the games, but that's what people do. Like collecting is an art, and it's something you really have to commit to. People are gonna say it's a waste of money. It is, but it's a nice waste of money.
I mean, I'm foolish enough to have bought Grand Theft Auto 5 on PS3, PS4, and PS5.
Yeah.
So they got me.
Yeah, they did, and GTA 6 will be the same thing.
I know.
You'll be playing it for another
on
decade. On
PS7, it's like, oh yeah, this is still good.
Yeah, it's like, wow, a premium edition for GTA 6. Let's go.
And it's only 125.
Well, I mean, it'll probably go down because GTA 5 is only like $30 now.
Well, I mean, for the premium edition for its PS7.
Maybe. Well, eventually, it'll eventually go down. So it'll stay high and then it'll go down because that's how GTA 5 was. It went high, went down.
The only thing I do, like when I play GTA, the first thing I ever do is I look for the military base.
Yes, I love doing the military
thing.
base.
I gotta steal that jet.
That's get the
that's
5
number one.
Yeah.
Number one, I gotta steal that jet, and then that's it.
Yeah.
Then I'm flying around in the jet for as long as I can until I get shot down. But it's like clockwork. I could do that till like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. Well, because that's what GTA is. It's just a game you just kind of like lose your mind on and you just kind of go have fun. Just do whatever. It's a sandbox and that's what you do.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of what Nintendo's lacking in that kind of IP.
Yeah.
They don't have the open world. Like they have it with Zelda, but
that was the failure of Tears of the Kingdom. Was Breath of the Wild wasn't a game you played once. You got it when it came out, you beat it, and then Tears of the Kingdom got announced. That's what I did. Is like I want to play it again. I want to get used to the story. Get used to the gameplay. And I go play Tears of the Kingdom, and I get out of the sky, and I'm like, oh, I'm back in the same spot I just spent 200 hours in. And so I didn't play it. I didn't play it anymore because I'm like, I already did this. There's no point for me.
Yeah.
And so it was like that was just a terrible hit for it. It was like. And it's like, does that make Tears of the Kingdom a bad game, or does that make Breath of the Wild a really good game?
Well, Breath of the Wild was already a really good game, but maybe Tears of the Kingdom could have been a DLC. Yeah,
it's like that. It definitely should have been a DLC, to be honest. If you're gonna make another open world Zelda game, it has to be different. It can't be in Hyrule again. You could do like a destroyed Hyrule, set in the future or set in the past, like just because there is the past version, so you could play a version of where like. What happens up until it, and so then we have like a coherent side like quest line. So it's like pre Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. So you have like a concurrent story.
I almost want different animation though.
Yeah,
I think, and this might be a hot take, but I think that Zelda is ready for like a more realistic animation.
Really?
Like I think so. Like a less cartoony treatment. I think would go and do wonders.
Well, it is getting the movie.
Yeah.
There's a movie for 2027 for that, so.
Who's doing that?
I don't know. They don't talk much about it. Same thing with like the Mario movie that they did. They didn't say much until, the interviews went out, so.
I hope they don't pick Michael Cera for Link.
That'd be hilarious, though.
I hope they don't.
Hey, guys, I think Ganon's over there.
Terry Crews or nothing.
Terry Crews. Yeah, I'll take Terry Crews as Ganon. And he gets on screen, just starts flexing his abs. He's like, come for you, Link.
The swords are here. He has 2 swords, and that's all he uses.
Just flashing like laser beams at him.
But I heard actually that there was supposed to be a Star Fox movie too.
Really?
Yeah.
I hadn't heard anything about that.
With the guy who actually plays the Falcon on Marvel, like Anthony Mackie, that guy.
Oh yeah.
He was supposed to be Falco.
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, and I think
gotta think for Falcons.
Chris Pratt was, of course,
always Chris Pratt. His interview for Mario was really funny. Spent so much of my childhood stomping Koopas. So he's got. I don't know if he's versatile or just does whatever, but he works. He was great as Star-Lord.
Yeah, and Jurassic Park, it made me want to get one of those motorcycles.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Then when I saw the price, it's like, it doesn't look like that'd be 30 grand.
Yeah.
God.
30 grand. Wow.
Yeah. For that, like, I think it was like a Triumph or something.
Yeah.
No thanks.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like a cafe racer, but but so you have the Switch 2.
Yeah.
What have you have you heard of you're not going to do anything to get it bricked, obviously. Hear that, Nintendo?
Yeah, I'm staying safe right now.
But for yours, what have you noticed that's like something you didn't know that was going to be an issue that was like a surprise?
Something that's been a surprise to me? The lack of a menu change.
Oh, really?
It's the exact same, and it's just kind of like, oh, weird.
You know what would be cool is if they made like you could have the option to change your UI.
Yeah, and then, that's what I'm kind of waiting for. I'm like, this is something people ask for. Like, at least I wish it played a bit more like the Wii U did, where it had like the Wii U menu, but if you're playing Wii games, you could switch to the Wii menu. Like, I wish it did that, and I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool. But it's just like, it just lacks a new set. Like, again, it's just a change of clothes. Same person, just looks different. So just the lack of menu change was something I didn't like. You also, you know how like the Joy-Cons was a big thing, and how you would literally just sit there and just keep taking on and off your Joy-Cons. It was like the clicking sound. The magnet takes it off because it's like you can't just like up and do it. You just kind of, because if you do it, your console falls. And it comes off. Yeah. It doesn't come up. It just falls out your hands.
You know, having it magnetic seems like it would interfere with some of the electronics in there, right?
Yeah. Well, it works with prongs, so it's not completely magnetic. So like it's the magnetic prongs, so they like touch, and then that's how they connect. So it's like the technical, like you know how like you have the Xbox controllers that are like charged on like the little stand, and it has like the like little golden things. It's that. So that's how they connect. So it's essentially still Bluetooth, just in a different way.
Seems like they tried to do too much on it.
Yeah, it just did too much and just wasn't nothing for it. Like the mouse, just it doesn't feel right. Like the Joy-Con's supposed to feel like mice, and it's like, I'm not on a PC. There's no games to support. That's the other thing is support. They're like all these features just don't have support. There's nothing to it. Like the cameras, you don't get anything for it. Like you can go on, voice chat and, camera chat, but like, who does this benefit? Like I'm not like, when it first came out, my first thought, like when I first saw it, my first thought was like, oh, I can't wait to go on Smash Bros. And get toxic and turn off my camera and start flipping off like these little kids with like 3 pixels of my middle finger. But it's recorded, so I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna actually waste $60 just to get banned.
Yeah.
But it's like, where's the support? Where's Just Dance? It was like Just Dance should have been a launch title because you have a camera. Like that would have sold. But there's nothing. Like there's no support for the mice feature to the Joy-Cons. There's no support for the cameras. There's no real, like, the game chat just doesn't feel right. Like, there's no game that, does it. It's like, cool, I can hop on Mario Kart World and just go, good game, guys. I was like, it's just a more convenient version of the last voice chat they had that nobody liked.
Canned response, because they don't want an Xbox chat room.
Yeah, well, because it's like, it's kids. It has to be recorded.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's nothing to do here.
Yeah. How long do you think... Well, how about this? Do you think there's a future where we can see a Smash Brothers game with Disney characters in it?
Unlikely.
We have Final Fantasy with Disney characters.
Unlikely. Well, because Smash is done. Sakurai is not doing Smash anymore. Ultimate was the last game. What I think they'll do, if anything, is just make a Switch 2 version of it and just convince Sakurai to make another Fighter Pass.
Yeah, everybody has their price.
Yeah, it's like they'll convince him. It's Nintendo. They've got money for days, so they'll just be like, "Hey, we've got a couple checks in your name," and he'll go, "Fine, I'll make another Fighter Pass." But it's not going to get another game. I'm really doubtful that we'll get another Smash Bros.
Think so?
Yeah. Well, because it's like, where do you go from this? Like, because really, if you make another game, all it's going to be is another Fighter Pass.
Or you do a Marvel versus Capcom with Disney versus Nintendo.
True, but that's kind of that's a dangerous ground because they don't want to share their IP.
They don't want anybody like kicking the shit out of Mickey.
Yeah, because if Mickey gets a bad rep, which is like they're like Epic Mickey was a really good game, but it's just like they don't want to put Mickey in a bad spot. Well, I guess Kingdom Hearts has an evil Mickey, doesn't it?
You know what? I've only played a little bit of it, but you know, like, imagine being able to fight as Gaston.
Yeah.
Huh? That'd be badass.
Like, it would be cool. I don't think it'll happen. I think they're just too stubborn for that.
Or the Beast,
Yeah.
you know?
Oh, because, like, the Beast versus Ganon would be...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, we want to see that shit.
Yeah, that would definitely... Like, it would hit. It'd make money, but they don't want to put that there. Because then that's just money they have to give up. Because Nintendo doesn't want to give money to Disney. Disney doesn't want to give money to Nintendo. Because then if you run into that, then... Sony and Kingdom Hearts and, you know, Final Fantasy is going to run an issue because Nintendo doesn't like Sony. Sony does not like Nintendo. So it's going to be like, well, what do we do? Because now there's connection to Kingdom Hearts, Final Fantasy. Well, I guess Sora and Final Fantasy characters are already in there. So I guess that's kind of already shaken up. But, like, that's why there's, like, no Nintendo stuff for Fortnite at all is because they don't want anything else on other consoles.
Well, Sony, that kind of beef kind of went back to the Super Nintendo, right?
Yeah,
because
the Nintendo PlayStation.
they were gonna, because Sony was developing some kind of CD add-on for the Super Nintendo, and then Nintendo was like, "Yeah, we'll go with you. That's great." And then a year later, they're like, "Hey, actually, we're gonna go with Philips."
Yeah, you have too much power. Yeah, you guys are gone.
Yeah, then they're like, "Nah, we're gonna make our own." Then
It was like, all right, guys, we're making something new today, which is funny because that's the only reason they're around today is literally just because they don't like Nintendo. They don't make video games. They don't make consoles. You can tell with the quality of the PS5 that, like, this isn't what they do.
well, that's the whole reason General Motors is around it because it was a bunch of employees and owners that didn't like Ford.
Yeah, it's just like they're literally just here for spite. They do not care. They don't care if it loses them profits. It's literally just, hey, Nintendo, we don't like you and we want you to know that. And it's like, other people make my console. Other people make my controllers. And they do bad. Whatever. Don't care. As long... Because, like, they make TVs. You know, that they're a movie company. Like, they make other stuff. And this is, like, their side gig.
Yeah. And, you know, the fun thing about PlayStation is it always came out that it's a game console and... Like, PlayStation was like, it's a game console and it plays CDs.
Yeah.
PS2, it's a game console and it plays DVDs.
Yeah.
PS3 was like, it's a game console and it plays Blu-rays. And PS4 was like, almost like, it streams now.
Yeah.
And PS5...
It does everything.
I don't know the hell that one does. Yeah, but it's good. You know? And
I mean, because it still plays Blu-rays. It still does DVDs.
yeah, it still does everything
all that.
else.
Yeah. So
but,
it's kind of like the all-in-one.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if anything else, you know, but... The good buy was those early PS3s, the fat ones, you know, because those were backwards compatible with everything.
Yeah. Well, because it was the PS3 and its weird disk detection. That's why, like, it didn't get backwards compatibility with stuff, which is because it just didn't work right. Because I think it was it the PS4 that couldn't play PS3 games, or was it the PS2 that could play PS3?
Yeah, the PS4 wouldn't play PS3 games.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
because
sure.
the way they made the discs.
Yeah. That one sucked. That was a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah. And it's like now they're still making PS4 games. Like almost every game comes out has a PS4 counterpart.
Yeah, well, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is probably the one I play the most.
Yeah.
You know, now. Although I got Rita's Rewind to be playing that one.
Oh, that one, yeah, the Power Rangers game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty sweet.
Is it?
You know?
A lot of people call me about it. And I go, I don't know. Here's when it comes out.
Well, because I ran into this issue at GameStop, a different one, but when I kept asking, I was like, "Is this game in yet?" And it got released like the day before or whatever, and they're like, "No, it doesn't look like we have any coming in either." And then the one girl was like, "Oh, you have to look it up as MMORP or something like that."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh yeah, we do have one."
It was one of those weird shadow drops because we get games that just kind of enter our system and then we don't know it till it comes out. Mind's Eye came out today, and I'm taking it out of the drawer to go put it up, and there's just these 2 random games, and they're not out till the 12th, and I'm like, I didn't even know we had these games. I didn't even know this was a thing.
Yeah, but that's the reason, like, to keep going into the store.
Yeah, it's like,
you know what I mean?
There's something that's gonna be there for you.
Yeah, it's like you look and it's like, oh wow, look this. Oh, Ace Combat 4.
Yeah.
All right. You know.
Yeah, the pre-owned selection because you just never know what's gonna be there. So it's like just take a look and you'll find some hidden gem.
Yeah. Like, what's the most expensive pre-owned game here? And it's like, you come across those gems, like the All-Stars, that kind of thing.
It's like, we got a Sleeping Dogs pre-owned copy. And I was like, oh my God, I almost bought it if I didn't have it digitally. I was like, that was a game from my childhood. Like, wow.
Oh, they have ET for Atari.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Well, the thing that sucks is we don't carry retro at that store anymore because they started GameStop retro stores. So all our retro stuff, we just kind of ship it out. And so these stores, they get stockpiled on it. And I know some stores will keep theirs. Like we'll hold on to DSs for a bit. We'll display them, and then if they sell, they sell. If not, they get shipped. And so it just kind of sucks. 'Cause we'll always get like, what retro stuff do you guys have? And we're like, we don't got nothing.
Oh.
Yeah. And so people are like, do you have 360s? Like, yeah, you have to call this in the store because they're probably going to have it. Not us.
So can you go into those retro stores?
Yeah. The one on Citrus Heights and the one in Elk Grove are the retro stores.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'll be damned. I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah, so like they've got their display cases, and you'll see the 360s, you'll see DSs, you'll see the old games in there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So like if you go like to the PlayStation section, they have like a shelf for PS3 games, PS2 games, the whole yada yada.
I did not know.
Yeah.
Have you been with GameStop since they did that, like the GameStop stocks thing where they tried to short sell?
I haven't been working with them since then, but I've been following them since then. So they've always been close to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So somebody new took it over, right? When that happened?
Ryan Cohen is our new CEO. He was the one who took it over, yeah.
And he like made it profitable again and
Yeah, he just kind of he brought it into stocks. He is like, oh well, this company isn't doing right, so here I'll fix it up. Because he was the founder of Chewy. He started Chewy up, and then that went big, and so that was kind of like his lead up into fame. And that's how he got into GameStop. He's like, well, here's the stock side of it. I don't agree with a lot of his views for the company, personal stuff aside, because he's putting us in a focus area that is not good for us. He recently said he wants to make us into a TCG store, and
oh really?
Yeah, and it's like if you know one thing about TCG is that the market never sticks. It is a mountain.
Well, you need so much room for that too.
Well, you have room, but you also have so much room to fall because it's high right now. Pokemon's popular. Another reason why the Switch 2 is doing so good is it's just popular. A lot of people who've never touched a Switch in their life, TikTok goes, "Wow, the Switch 2, it's sold out," and people go, "I have to go get one," because it's fear of missing out.
Yeah, and
that's what Pokemon is. It's just people are just like, it's popular, so I want to be a part of this, and so now it's booming. It's profitable. There's stuff to do with it, and so now we're focusing on Pokemon. And as soon as people go, "Oh, Pokemon's lame again," it's gonna go right back down because, before this year started, you could not buy Pokemon at MSRP because it was too much. If you went to there was sales, it was buy one get one free on Pokemon cards because if you told someone, say, "Hey, I'm selling you this box for $50," they laugh in your face. Now if you tell them you're selling $50, they'll take it without a second thought.
Mm-hmm. Well, so, scalpers,
Yeah, so it's just kind of like it's if you really want to keep that market, you have to single-handedly keep it afloat. And GameStop can't do that.
Yeah.
So it's like, when this goes down, what are we going to do? How are we going to focus on TCG when we're just, all Pokemon? And it's like, yes, we're going digital, and there's nothing we can do about that because that's just profit to the companies itself. We can't do it. We can't make anything off that. But TCG is not the way to go. Like, live its popularity, live it there. Just keep it there. Once it starts going down, just stay how it used to be. Just sell it. Whatever.
I mean, I think maybe the smart thing to do would be to see what's popular in that area. If that's because if you have like these other GameStops that are like some of them are focused on, like you said, the classic games or whatever, and some are focused on maybe tabletop, or maybe there is one or two that has the TCG. Maybe because it adds a little bit of variety. But at the same point, it's not what it's for. There's plenty of comic stores that don't sell video games that specialize in that.
Yeah,
that also trade it back and forth.
Yeah, and it's a sense of the big word is profit. And what they've started doing is a GameStop tax. And now what we should normally be selling for MSRP is sold for over MSRP. Like our new set, it's like $10-$20 over what it should normally be. And, there's people who defend it, just go, well, tariffs that. And it's like, no, this is genuinely like the Elite Trainer box. It's like, it's like the corner, like the big box for the Pokemon product. Pokemon Center sells an exclusive one for $60. It's extra packs. It's an exclusive thing. It's different. We're also selling it for $60, except it's the normal version. So it has less. So we're selling it at the same price as they sell their exclusive stuff. And then Target, they sell at MSRP. Best Buy, they sell at MSRP. Most card stores that have a reputation sell at MSRP. So it's this battle of like, we're just trying to get on the profits, and that's not the way to go. And yes, people will still buy it, but when that drop happens, you're public enemy number one.
Yeah.
Because now people are like, you're just here for the money. You're not here for the fans. And GameStop keeps pushing this idea that we're here for the players, but we're not. Because when that drop happens, they're going to go, well, why should I support you now? Why should I pay MSRP just because now you can't sell it over MSRP?
Right.
So it's like, sure, make your profit, but it's a battle to fight. Like, especially when our jobs are so focused around numbers. It's like selling people the GameStop Pro. And I can't sit there and I go, well, I'm charging you more money for this product that's normally this X, Y, and Z. Now, do you want to spend $25 for your Pro membership to make it a little bit cheaper? And it's just one of those things, just like, it grinds my gears. Because I am a human behind that counter. I am unfortunately not GameStop's robot, so I can't sit there and do it in good faith. Like, I'll still do it, it's sake of my job. But, like, I can't sit there and go, well, I'm making the right decision here. Because it's a scam. Like, I can't sit there and be like, spend more money to save less money on the stuff that I'm overselling you. I was like, wow, man.
That is a rough one.
Yeah.
You know, it's a tough nut to sell.
Yeah, it definitely is.
But I want to, so I have to end it on this.
Okay.
It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground.
You know, we have, our counter in the back, right? We have to get up there to sometimes most of the stuff. That is something that's said to me a lot the other way around. They'll all go, he's got the high ground, run away.
Well, because if Anakin has the high ground, it's over.
It's over, yeah.
You know?
So this is the running joke. It's just, as soon as I get up high, it's over. But I love that job. I love that place. So
yeah, no, I mean, I will still go there no matter what, even like I still go to like the independent stores like One Up or Fire and Ice or whatever. It's a different thing.
Yeah.
That's what you should have the TCG at.
Yeah. Because Fire and Ice, they focus retro and TCG.
Yeah.
Keep it there. Mm-hmm. GameStop should focus on games. And like the collectible market is a whole other issue.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you coming by, Anakin.
Of course.
And we'll do this again.
Alrighty. Just hit me up.
All right. See you guys.